Welcome to Novum Tempus. If you're a global citizen, then you need to understand the invasion of Ukraine and its impact on the global economy. The year is 2025. A time when the world should be looking forward to new advancements and a brighter future. Yet, we find ourselves grappling with the shadows of a conflict that began 3 years ago. The war in Ukraine, a conflict that erupted in 2022, continues to cast a long shadow over the world. What started as a regional dispute has now escalated into a global crisis, affecting millions of lives and altering the course of history. It's a stark reminder that even in the 21st century, peace is a fragile thing. The delicate balance that holds our world together can be shattered in an instant, leaving behind a trail of devastation and uncertainty. And the consequences of this war? They reach far beyond the battlefields, impacting the global economy in ways we're only beginning to understand. Stock markets have plummeted, economies are in turmoil, and the ripple effects are being felt in every corner of the globe. This isn't just about Ukraine or Russia, it's about the broader implications for international relations and the stability of the global order. The alliances and enmities formed during this conflict will shape the geopolitical landscape for years to come. This is about a global order shaken. The institutions and agreements that once seemed unbreakable are now under strain, and the world is watching to see how this will all unfold. It's about the interconnectedness of our world, where a conflict in one corner has ripple effects across the globe. In an era of globalization, no nation is an island, and the reverberations of this war are a testament to that fact. From the price you pay for groceries to the stability of nations, the Ukraine war has become everyone's problem, so buckle up. The cost of living has soared, and everyday people are feeling the pinch in their wallets and their lives. We're about to take a deep dive into the real financial cost of this war, a cost that every one of us is paying, whether we realize it or not. The economic impact is profound, and understanding it is crucial for navigating the challenges ahead. Ukraine, often called the breadbasket of Europe, is a major agricultural powerhouse. It's a leading exporter of wheat, corn, and sunflower oil, feeding millions around the world. But the war has turned those fertile fields into battlegrounds, disrupting global food supplies. Think of it like this. Imagine a giant hand suddenly yanking a crucial ingredient out of your pantry. That's what the war has done to the global food system. With Ukrainian ports blockaded and farming disrupted, the world is facing shortages of key staples. The result? Skyrocketing prices. Remember those cheap loaves of bread you used to buy? They're getting smaller and much more expensive. And for millions in developing countries living on the edge, it's not just about tighter budgets, it's about the very real threat of starvation. Remember the good old days when you could fill up your gas tank without needing a small loan? Yeah, those days are gone. One of the most immediate and painful consequences of the war has been the surge in energy prices. Russia, a major oil and gas exporter, has become a financial pariah slapped with sanctions by the West. This has sent shockwaves through the global energy market, driving up the cost of everything from heating your home to fueling your car. But it's not just energy. Remember those disrupted supply chains we talked about? They're driving up the cost of pretty much everything. From clothes to cars to that new smartphone you've been eyeing, get ready to shell out more cash. Inflation, that silent thief, is picking everyone's pocket. While we in the developed world grumble about rising prices, the situation in many developing countries is far more dire. Places already struggling with poverty and hunger are now facing a full-blown crisis. Imagine being a parent who can no longer afford to feed their children. Imagine watching your family go hungry while the world seems to look away. This is the heartbreaking reality for millions caught in the crosshairs of a war they didn't start. The war has exposed the fragility of the global food system and the deep inequalities that define it. It's a stark reminder that when it comes to basic human needs, we are all interconnected. And for millions around the world, the clock is ticking. Europe's balancing act, economic stability versus defense. Across the Atlantic, Europe finds itself on the front lines of this economic war. The continent's reliance on Russian energy has backfired spectacularly, leaving it scrambling for alternatives and facing an energy crisis not seen in decades. But it's not just about keeping the lights on. The war has forced Europe to confront a harsh reality. It can no longer rely on others for its security. This has led to a dramatic increase in defense spending. putting a strain on national budgets already stretched thin by the pandemic and the energy crisis. It's a delicate balancing act. How can Europe support Ukraine, bolster its defenses, and protect its citizens from economic hardship? These are the tough questions European leaders are grappling with, and the answers are far from clear. Germany stumbles, a giant feeling the strain. Germany, Europe's economic engine, is feeling the strain. Its powerful industrial sector, heavily reliant on Russian gas, is facing an unprecedented energy crunch. Factories are cutting production, jobs are being lost, and the once mighty German economy is sputtering. Adding to the woes is the influx of Ukrainian refugees. While Germany has shown commendable generosity in welcoming those fleeing the war, the sheer number of arrivals is putting a strain on social services and the economy. The war has exposed the vulnerabilities of Germany's economic model and its dependence on Russian energy. It's a wake-up call for a nation that has long prided itself on its economic might. France's dilemma: a budget caught in the crossfire. France, Europe's other economic powerhouse, is facing its own set of challenges. The country is already grappling with high public debt and a sluggish economy. The war has only added fuel to the fire, forcing the government to make tough choices. On the one hand, France wants to show solidarity with Ukraine and bolster its defenses. On the other hand, it can ill afford to increase military spending without jeopardizing its already precarious financial situation. It's a dilemma with no easy answers. France, like many other European nations, is caught between a rock and a hard place. The war has forced it to confront uncomfortable truths about its economic vulnerabilities and its place in the world. The refugee crisis, a test of humanity. Behind the cold statistics of economic impact lies a human tragedy of immense proportions. The refugee crisis is not just about numbers, it's about people who have lost everything. Their homes, their livelihoods, and their sense of security have been shattered. Millions of Ukrainians have been forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in neighboring countries. They embark on perilous journeys, often with nothing more than the clothes on their backs, hoping to find safety and a chance to rebuild their lives. These are mothers, children, and families torn apart by war, their lives upended in an instant. The emotional and psychological toll is immense, as they grapple with the trauma of displacement and the uncertainty of their future. The outpouring of support from ordinary citizens has been heartwarming. Communities around the world have opened their hearts and homes, offering food, clothing, and shelter to those in need. This solidarity is a beacon of hope in dark times, but the scale of the crisis is immense, and the long-term costs are only beginning to be felt. Refugee camps are overflowing, and resources are stretched thin. The international community must come together to provide sustained support. Providing food, shelter, healthcare, and education to millions of refugees is a monumental task, one that will require sustained international cooperation and financial assistance. The needs are vast and varied, from medical care to educational opportunities for children. The refugee crisis is a test of our humanity, a reminder that behind the numbers are real people with real lives. Each face tells a story of resilience and hope, even in the face of unimaginable hardship. It's a call to action for all of us to do our part, however small, to alleviate the suffering. Whether through donations, volunteering, or simply raising awareness, every effort counts. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of those who have lost so much. A New World Order: Energy, Geopolitics, and the Future. In this chapter, we delve into the intricate web of energy, geopolitics, and the future that lies ahead. The interconnectedness of these elements shapes our world in profound ways. The war in Ukraine has been a brutal wake-up call for the world. It has not only caused immense human suffering but also highlighted the vulnerabilities in our global systems. It has exposed the fragility of our globalized economy, our dependence on fossil fuels, and the ever-present threat of conflict. The disruption in supply chains has had ripple effects across the globe, affecting everything from energy prices to food security. But amidst the chaos, there are also glimmers of hope. Communities are coming together to find innovative solutions, and there is a growing awareness of the need for sustainable practices. The war has accelerated the transition to renewable energy. Countries are now more committed than ever to reducing their reliance on fossil fuels and investing in cleaner alternatives. Europe, desperate to wean itself off Russian gas, is investing heavily in solar, wind, and other renewable energy sources. This shift is not just a temporary measure but a long-term strategy for energy independence and other clean energy sources. The diversification of energy portfolios is crucial for building resilience against future shocks. This is not only good for the environment but also for energy security, reducing dependence on volatile global markets. The economic benefits of renewable energy are becoming increasingly apparent, with job creation and technological advancements leading the way. Geopolitically, the war has reshuffled the deck. Traditional alliances are being tested, and new geopolitical dynamics are emerging. Countries are re-evaluating their foreign policies and strategic partnerships. Alliances are being reforged, and new partnerships are emerging. This realignment is creating both challenges and opportunities on the global stage. The world is entering a new era, one defined by uncertainty but also by the possibility of a more sustainable and equitable future. As we navigate these changes, the choices we make today will shape the world for generations to come. Thank you for watching. At Novum Tempus, we are just beginning to explore the bizarre. Until next time, stay intrigued, stay curious, and goodbye for now.